Welcome to your practice for January 2018. Happy New Year. Let's tune in together. The Adi Mantra is our chance to re-establish our home frequency with our sound. And as we do, to honor what teaches us, what we find here. Ong Namo, I bow to everything made and unmade in this day. Everything outside of me that teaches me. Guru Dev Namo, I bow to the teacher and the teaching inside of me. So repeat after me. Ong Namo, Guru Dev Namo, Ong Namo, Guru Dev Namo, and with me. Ong Guru Dev Namo. Welcome to your practice. So we will make a very simple posture, which we'll use again later. So this is a good chance to get it set up and know what we're doing for when the time comes. A blanket folded at the top at the head of your mat. One block just a bit in front of it. And that's to catch your shoulders. The second block is in your hand. So come to lie down. And you can see that it's quite high up on my shoulders, that it's not lost under my ribs, it's up under my shoulders, right under the center of my chest. The back of my head falls onto the blanket. I lift my hips, and the block is under the far end of my tail. So that I place my heart first, my head second, my hips third. If you reverse that order, it gets very tricky. Walk your feet all the way out. And then hands together. And over the course of 3 to 5 breaths, take your hands overhead. And as you do, feel how the very front of your abdomen is growing longer, as though the navel itself was opening top to bottom. And once your hands reach out overhead, you can rest your thumbs. If they don't reach, you can relax your hands. You can bend your elbows wide to the side if you need to, but try to keep reaching out a little bit and deepen your breathing. Just keep a long, full breath, and each one is a chance to lengthen and open your abdomen. The work of January is the aura, is the 8th chakra, the space around us, the energy that we exude, that holds us. And that energy that comes out of us, that radiates from who we are, is established in the center of the body. And so that's where we will warm up. That's what we will build to start with. Perfect. One more big long breath. You can wag the tail a little, pedal through the feet. Open the front of your abdomen. Perfect. And as you bring your hands down, walk your feet in, lift your hips to remove one block. Remove the second block. And just come to lie down for a moment and notice that the full length of your front body, there's a sensation of relief. If we've been seated all day at a desk or in a car, there can be a great deal of compression in the front body, which really does limit what we're able to generate beyond the surface of ourselves. And so even 5 minutes, if you don't have time for anything else, propped on the blocks with the hands overhead that way, makes space here, tends the inner body. And from here, we are ready to go. So turn on your soundtrack at Hari Om and press play. And then take your block and set it between your thighs. You can remove the blanket for now, but keep it nearby. And the hands down beside you. Inhale, hands overhead. And on the exhale, hands come down. Now hold the block. Press the block with your thighs and feel your low belly drop into the floor. Inhale, hands overhead, soften your legs. And exhale, hands coming down, hold the block. 2. Inhale, hands overhead, get very long and smooth in your breath. And then exhale, hands coming down, hold the block with your thighs. Tuck your chin, lift your head and shoulders. Now lift your heels the height of your knees. Feet down, hands overhead, inhale, open. And then exhale, tuck your chin, roll forward, lift your feet. 2. Inhale, hands overhead, rolling out. And exhale, roll up, stay 3. Feet down, hands overhead, put your palms together. And as you roll up, hands outside the right side of your thigh. Right hand only, overhead. Exhale, everything else stays. Inhale, open. And exhale, press. Inhale, open. And exhale, press. We go one more time. Get very smooth, very steady. The body easy. And 2 feet down, 2 hands overhead. Keep your palms together. Roll outside the left thigh. Pause. Inhale, left hand open. Exhale, close. Left hand overhead. Exhale, close. Each time you exhale, hold that block belly to the floor one more time. And press. Perfect. Hands overhead, legs long. Maybe you don't touch the floor. Bring that block right to your chest. Inhale, open long. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, open long. If you need to, hold your shins, pull it in and pause. And take the block all the way out. And let your heels drop to the width of the mat. And as your hands go overhead, the right hand holds the left wrist. The left ankle crosses over the right ankle. And you take your hands to the right top corner of your mat. So the hips and the belly are in the center. The heels and the hands are on the right side of the mat. And lengthen your breathing. Draw your shins a little closer. Draw your thighs a little closer. Draw your arms a little closer and reach out, hands to heels. Open the left side. Breathe into the left lung really well. And letting go. Heels widen, hands release. Left hand holds your right wrist. Right ankle crosses over your left. Take your hands to the left top corner of the mat and reach. Breathing into the right lung, the right rib cage widens. Thin shins together, thighs together, arms closer. And let it go back into the center to hold your shins. And keeping your head and shoulders on the floor, inhale your right hand overhead and exhale, bring it in. Left hand and exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. In and out through your nose, closing your eyes. Beginning to move at a really steady pace. Keep the low belly anchored as though you had that block between the thighs. Now you can stay moving one at a time, or this time 2 hands overhead, 2 legs long. If you like, you can catch your shins to roll your hips in, or hands outside as though reaching towards your heels, just for 6, 5, 4, 3, perfect, 2 more. So that this time when you come in, you hold your shins and you roll up to a simple seat. And as you come to that seat, sit a little higher, your hips on a block or on a blanket. And just for a moment, we'll put the arms wide out to the side, palms are up. You find a whisper of ha. Close your mouth, out your nose. Continue just like that. Keep pumping your belly, feeling how it can move. You're moving that navel energy all through the body. The palms are bright, the heart is high. Just for 4. 3. 2. And big inhale. Hold the breath, heart high, chin in. Reach through the hands. Lift Mula Bandha if you choose, lifting the pelvic floor. Let it pause. And then exhale, hands coming down. And just pause a moment. Notice the change you've made. Notice the stability in the center of your body. Just be still for 3. Let it move through you. Let it settle. And sweep your eyes open. Roll your shoulders. Now if you choose, I like to have the blanket under me because it gives me a little bit more length. If you're tight through the hamstrings at all, right leg will go out. Left heel comes in, maybe just to the knee to start. Hands on your left shin and a little fold forward. Rise up, change sides, and fold down. So that little bit of padding helps your seat, and it also helps your hamstrings. And then as you exhale, you fold. On your inhale, you rise, and yours may be smaller. If there's tension through the low back, it might be small. If you've got a lot of space or you're warm, it'll be bigger. And just find a steady rhythm, focusing on the length of the extended leg at first, keeping the toes pointed up rather than falling out to the side. That there be space between your toes. And then perhaps the opposite heel comes in a little bit closer, but pay attention to the inner knee. If it's tender at all, keep it further out. And we just settle here for 20 more seconds. Eyes closed. Just build a little momentum and a little space. Perfect. And sit up tall. Let your legs go out long. Shake out your feet. Shake out your knees. And keeping your seat on that blanket. Plant your heels. Toes are up. Thumbs are up. Hands are closed into slight fists. Perfect. Take your one hand high. Pull your heart forward. The other hand down. Hands together. Roll back a little. Inhale, roll up. Exhale, roll back. In to out. In to out. And then once you've found this, the eyes close, the breathing gets steady. We stay for 2 minutes. If it bothers your shoulders, bend your elbows a little bit. This will help. If there's tension in your hips, soften the curve of your low belly. Relax your legs. And really let the work be in the hands, lifting the chest and drawing it forward. And then settle in. Lifting the chest, knowing that the more you practice it, the stronger you will be. The front and the back of the center of your body holding you up. Go for 10. For 8. 7. 6. 2. And 1. yourself to a simple seat, legs crossed. I'll turn to you. Land your hands on your thighs. And just pause, sitting tall. We've deepened the crease of the hips. We've established the front and the back of the navel. Tall, the chest is free. This is the fire, this is the fuel of what we put out into the world around us. Begin to make a great slow circle. Inhale as you come across the front. Exhale as you come across the back. Keep your chest lifted high. Keep the crown of the head reaching tall. And the more that you practice, the smaller, the more subtle it may become. You can start by finding the physical body, the hips and the spine, but then just tune in. A chance to come a little closer into yourself, into your movements. Let it soothe something. Just pause and reverse that circle. The second direction is always a little different from the first. Really coming into the spine for 3 and 2. And then inhale, sit very tall. Hold the breath high, the chin lightly in. Take your hands to your shins. Keep the breath. And on the exhale, let your belly drop back. On the inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, inhale, ex, and in. I'm going to turn sideways so that you can see. I keep lifting my chest. And if you're being very active about it, find a little more momentum, a little more ease, so that you can feel that it starts to open on its own. For 3. For 2. And inhale, sit very tall, heart high, chin in. Lift the pelvic floor. Anus, sex organs. Pause, lift it up, heart high. And lift your chin to exhale. Pause, be tall. Bring your fingertips to your shoulders, thumbs point back, turning to the right, turning to the left. Exhale as you turn to the right. Inhale as you turn to the left. I'll face you again. And stay tall. You've made such beautiful height in your spine through the center of the chest. Turn from the seat, turn from the belly, so that the upper back is free and the chin can turn. And then lift your wrists up over your elbows, but keep them at right angles as you turn, like a little field goal. In left, out right, and get taller, right into the fingertips. For 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Reach up, interlace your fingers, stretch. And as your hands come down, your heels go wide. Shake out your feet, your knees, and start to move side to side. Inhale as you reach across. Exhale as you fold through center. You can get a little space between your toes. Now, when your right hand comes down, stay there, left hand high. Reach up and reach out, turning your heart toward the ceiling, so that it's less about folding down toward the floor. Anchor your left heel, anchor your left hip, and turn so that you're making this incredible length from the sole of your foot through the hip, through the shoulder, through the hand. And the left hand comes down. Left hand down, right hand up. Right heel is heavy, right hip is heavy. Turning lightly, so that you're opening from the right hip to the right shoulder, from the right shoulder to the hand, and all the way back down. Spread your right toes. Turn your heart. And 2 hands down. Perfect. Bring the soles of your feet to touch. Hold your ankles and allow your knees to drop. Each one is an exhalation. X, 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 X. Keep the breath and lift your chest. But now loosen. Loosen your hips. Loosen your shoulders. Loosen your face. Loosen your plans. And from that loosening you can get a little taller. Loosen your mouth corners. Inhalation. Hold the breath in. Press the outer knees towards the floor. Lift the heart. Tuck the chin. Lift the pelvic floor. Pause 3. Pause 2. Lift your chin to exhale. Let your right leg go long. Let your left heel come in, or if you need to, just beside your knee. Fingertips wide. And then walk yourself forward. We're going to find that little whisper of ha. Close your mouth, out your nose. Space between your right toes. Inch your fingers forward as you have the space and the length. Crown of your head reaching forward, right heel reaching forward. Now if you can keep that breath and reach your toes, you're going to hold your toes so lightly, so daintily, elbows wide. This means the front body, the abdomen, needs to work to support your weight. Keep the breath, walk it up. Change your legs. Walk it out. Spread your toes. Use the breath to find some length. If you reach your toes, you hold them so lightly. Elbows wide, belly rising, crown is long. Walk it up. Cross your legs. Inhale. Hold the breath high, hold the heart high, hold the chin in. Pause, sitting very, very tall. Stay 3. Hands to the thighs. Stay 2. Lift your chin and exhale. Be still. Eyes closed, hands at rest, spine tall. Remember that posture we built at the beginning. This is the time. So your blanket goes at the head of the bed. One block for your shoulders, the second block in your hand for your hips. Gracefully set yourself up and drop in. Shoulders, head, hips, heels, and breathe. And breathe. Let the exhale get a little longer. Let the inhale spread your abdomen and lengthen your ribs. Keep opening the center of your body, but this time opening it from the inside with your breathing. Two more breaths. Walk your feet in. Feet flat. Lift your hips. Remove the blocks. Now at this point, you may lie flat and be totally done and rest there. A really lovely navel opening, empowering sequence. Or roll yourself up, come to a seat, and we'll come to the second part of our practice.